for many low-income households, but the lawmakers have set strict requirements for these new relief programs. Guaranteed income programs give direct cash payments to recipients in order to address poverty or economic inequality. Mayors for Guaranteed Income, a national network of mayors and researchers spearheading these kinds of programs, are running temporary pilot programs across the country in an effort to address inequities and help families. The nation's largest test of whether universal basic income can reduce poverty is underway. More than 230,000 county Illinois residents applied to be part of the $42 million program, and all households that won the lottery to participate in the 2-year program recently got the first of 24 $500 monthly payments. Half of participants earned $21,000 or less, and 58% of households that are participating in the program include children. The federal government sets the poverty line at $26,000. In addition, Chicago families are testing a guaranteed income program by sending $500 to 5,000 households for a year. Illinois is not the only state that is testing guaranteed income programs. All around the Golden State, families are receiving monthly payments through their participation in guaranteed income programs. Some of the pilots have already started, like the Los Angeles County Guaranteed Income Demonstration Project, which has been sending 1,000 families $1,000. Over in San Diego County, families and individuals impacted by the crisis could be eligible for a $4,000 stimulus check. Starting this May, applications are being accepted for the county's one-time grant program. Recovery Action Fund for Tomorrow, aimed at helping the low-income Americans affected by this crisis. And county officials said more than 2,000 families meet eligibility can potentially receive $4,000 checks. Applicants will be required to provide proof of qualifications. Selections will be made at random. If chosen, those picked will have the money transferred into their bank. And when it comes to the government programs, many lawmakers disagree. Federal student loan borrowers are facing a consequential year ahead. By the end of June, the Supreme Court is expected to issue a final decision on whether the president plans to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for federal borrowers. Making up to $125,000 is illegal.
Let me close with this. We're at a serious moment in our nation history, and it's not I mean it from the bottom of my heart. As I said last week, we remain in the battle for the soul of America. By the way, all right, God love you. Let him go. Let him go. No, 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 no.
Breaking news, new information has been released on Social Security. The Biden administration and lawmakers are working together on Social Security reform. In just a few days, checks worth up to $1,700 will be sent out to eligible seniors. And now, supplemental security income beneficiaries will get 2 checks in September for a maximum sum of $1,700. But the second check is no reason to celebrate, as it's not extra money. In months where bank or holidays occur, that pushes up the distribution date for payments. In October, SSI beneficiaries will get no payment. The maximum check is $841 in 2022 for eligible individuals for this federal program, which provides support to disabled, blind, and elderly people who have little to no income. The average monthly benefit is $624. Managing money for the 8 million beneficiaries who rely on SSI benefits can be difficult. That's because they face strict asset and income rules, many of which have not been updated since the program was created in 1972. According to research, most of the program's beneficiaries are within 150% beneficiary, and a member of the AARP Iowa Executive Council told Washington, "You cut that 20% that people are paying, and that's a crisis. We've done our part. It's time for Congress to do their part." Social Security faces a shortfall between the income it receives due to payroll taxes and the benefit it collects. Now, the program's trust funds help make up a big difference, but in the next decade, those trust funds will dry up, and projections show. Without that buffer, benefits will be immediately reduced. The headlines about the program's funding woes may prompt Americans to suspect Congress is doing nothing to change the program situation. 2 top lawmakers are already working on Social Security reform proposals, and they spoke at the AARP forum with Senator Bill Cassidy and the Democrats to discuss the negotiations. Senator Cassidy said it will not happen before the next presidential election because President Biden he made it clear that he's not going to act on this. So now, during his State of the Union address in February, Biden did say he would do something about it, but so far nothing has happened. Meanwhile, Representative Larson has put forward a bill in Social Security 2100 in 4 seasons to make sure the benefits are more generous. While Biden has called out a proposal from Republican Senator Rick Scott that would sunset the program every 5 years, Senator Cass said the president has failed to mention a separate bipartisan plan they had briefed on. And so now this bill has brought support from the House Democrats with 200 co-sponsors for a previous version of the proposal, yet it has been made clear to the House that it is going to vote on it. Recent hopes for a new bill advanced after Democrats have worried Republicans would say they're behind a massive tax increase. Now, the two top lawmakers' proposals have taken different approaches to achieve long-term solvency in the program. Senator Cassie wants to create a new Social Security fund by raising $1.5 trillion that will be invested in the stock market. Now, the new fund will help the program keep up with inflation, which may run out at 6 or 7% annually. Now, while the Treasury bonds are doing this, it typically earns just 1 to 4%, and as the fund grows, it would ultimately have access to about 70% of Social Security's shortfall. Cassidy said the remaining 30% will have to be resolved through bipartisan compromise. Any change in Social Security will require 60 votes in the Senate, and therefore arrive to an agreement on from both parties. Larson, who recently introduced the Social Security...
By the way, folks, how much do you think SSI benefits should be increased to? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. In addition, everybody, President Biden called for increasing Social Security checks by $200 per month during the crisis. And this idea has also been proposed by other politicians. Two House Democrats have separately proposed putting an emergency cost of living adjustment in place, and this would bring next year's benefits increase up to 3% from 1.3%. We all know for sure that the crisis is not helping Social Security trust funds, which were already hurting before the beginning of the crisis. Having fewer workers in the economy contributing to payroll taxes that fund the system has helped to further deplete the reserves. So this might mean, everybody, that Social Security benefits are running low. But earlier this month, the Social Security Administration estimated that its funds could be depleted in 2035, at which point only 79% of Social Security benefits will be payable to recipients. And this is terrible, and these estimates also do not take the crisis into account. Recent estimates from the Bipartisan Policy Center indicate that in the worst case scenario, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI benefits could all run out, making it the largest adjustment ever seen since 1981, when the adjustment was just 11%. The SSA makes these adjustments almost every year as a way to keep up with inflation. In 2023, the maximum Social Security disability benefit was $3,700 a month. That is $282 more in 2022. But the average SSDI benefit is significantly lower. Even when you factor in 2023's high COLA, the average monthly disability benefit will be just $1,400. Every year, a total of 12 SSI payments are issued by the SSA to ensure that recipients get a payment one time every month. And when the first of the month occurs on a weekend or holiday, as in this case, the payments are given on last business day of the previous month. According to an official schedule, the SSA will issue double payments to recipients in the months of March, June, and September. But everybody, it's important to remember that Social Security recipients may see differing amounts to their benefit checks, regardless of the cost of living. Depending on the primary insurance amount, some Social Security checks can be higher or lower than the 8.7% increase. And according to the SSA, the primary insurance amount is the benefit